And so I understand your grandfathers fought for a reason, but that reason was bigger than whether someone is taking a knee during the national anthem. That's not what they fought for, man. And a lot of times our servicemen are not even fighting for our freedom. The government will tell us they are, but sometimes our freedom has not even been challenged. And our government, politicians, will send presidents, will send our troops over to certain countries, and they'll be over there shooting and bombing, blowing things up. And our freedom hasn't been challenged. So every time our troops go somewhere to fight, they're doing it because this is what they've been ordered to do by their superiors, as in some general somewhere been told by our commander-in-chief, whoever that commander-in-chief just happens to be at the time, whether it was, Trump or George Bush or someone, to go over to the Middle East and shoot up the place and get these terrorists or whatever, whatever they're doing. For hundreds of years, we've had presidents telling military leaders to send some troops over to this place for this reason and for that place for that reason. It's not always because our freedom as Americans has been threatened. That's just what they tell us, so we'll be behind the war. But in any case, Drew Brees says, he'll never support anybody disrespecting the flag. But I guess he just doesn't even understand what that means. That phrase in itself is silly, disrespecting the flag. People are allowed, actually, by law, you could burn the flag if you want. That's what freedom is. We're supposed to have in this country. I don't choose to burn the flag myself. I don't have any reason to do that. I don't have a flagpole. I don't have a flagpole at my house, so I don't really even have a flag. The only flags I've had were little tiny ones. And, you let the wind blow on those things and they shred. It doesn't take long. But in any case, Roger Goodell came out with a video a few days ago saying we were wrong as the NFL. We were wrong about the NFL players. He didn't mention Colin Kaepernick by name, but he said we were wrong for not recognizing the NFL players who were protesting police brutality. Now, he just came out with this video this week. This happened 4 years ago, and it was happening 3 years ago too. The next season, there were still players taking a knee during the national anthem. And now there's a lot of people who are taking a knee after protests. People are taking a knee, and there was even cops taking a knee right alongside the protesters. So Colin Kaepernick's taking a knee done something. It got people to see. And it's unfortunate it took George Floyd, another guy, to die before people understand that this cannot go on. This police brutality cannot continue, or things are going to explode. They're going to get out of hand. Okay, we can't just allow the police to murder black people and to get away with it. All right, so Roger Goodell admits that they were wrong for not understanding the players' protests years ago, and that He also said Black Lives Matter to the NFL. I don't know what the NFL is planning to do, but we'll see what happens. Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL. He did not take the side of Drew Brees, the quarterback. But, the problem that I see with a lot of non-racist white people is that a lot of them deny that there is even racism at all. They'll tell you that you're playing the race card for no reason, or they'll just blame the media for racism. Well, the media, it's not about the media. There's a lot of racist people in the country, and some of them are on the police force, and they know that they can pretty much do what they want. You don't even have to be a police officer. The two guys who shot Ahmaud Arbery, they would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the video that was released on the internet. Okay, George Zimmerman was able to murder a teenager for walking through the neighborhood. And he did get away with it. He went to trial. He wouldn't even have been apprehended if it wasn't for, it wasn't a video. It was Trayvon Martin was talking to his girlfriend on the phone when George Zimmerman came up behind him and started asking him what was he doing in the neighborhood. Okay, so not even just policemen think that they can just kill a brother and get away with it. Regular citizens. Just the average citizen thinks that he can just kill a black guy and nobody will care. And that's because non-racist white people don't care. Not all of you. I'm not saying all of you. I'm just saying a lot of people that I know personally who are not racist, they don't want to hear it. Okay. You complain about racism, they don't want to hear it. Okay. They don't. Like I said, they blame the media, or all the media is blowing it out of proportion, or they say you're playing the race card, unnecessarily. And it's like, no, I'm not, stupid ass. These things are happening every day. We are living this. A black person lives this their whole lives. And I've told some of my white friends, okay, the next time you get pulled over, because I've seen white people cuss out the police for being pulled over. Like, what the hell you pulled me over for? And the cops would say, oh, you went left to center. And they'd be like, bullshit, officer. This is bullshit, man. And I'm like, I can't even believe you're saying this. And there's no intelligent black person or even a stupid black person in America who would get over and cuss out the police. You'd be dead in a minute. Because they would make up some lie, okay, that you were resisting arrest. And even though they don't have a reason to to arrest you, you're resisting. Be like, well, why are you arresting him? You have to have another reason. Disorderly. So I told my white friends, you're not going to be worried about being pulled over by the cops. And I am every time it happens. Sometimes I have my young daughter in the car. I'm really concerned there. They might shoot me in front of her. They don't know she's in there. Maybe they shoot us both. I don't know. Now that sounds outrageous to some people, but to me, I don't know. White officers have shot black children before. I don't know if they claim that they were scared or what the problem was, but they shot them. I know Tamir Rice was 12 years old and he was shot in Cleveland by white officers. They shot him, a 12-year-old boy, because they said they were in fear. Their lives were in jeopardy, they thought, from a 12-year-old kid who didn't have a gun either. I've seen the cops let white guys walk around with a gun and they ask them, put the gun down. And this will go on for 10 minutes. They'll be walking around. And let's not forget, white people were pissed off because they were being told to stay home because of the coronavirus. And they got a bunch of guns and started protesting. The cops didn't do anything. But black people protest, and you're going to put yourself in physical jeopardy there. White people protest with guns about nothing. The coronavirus, they're trying to help you not die. Doctors and scientists are saying you should social distance so that you won't die. White people couldn't stand that, so they started protesting, and they were strapped with AR-15s and whatnot, and nobody said a word. But a black person takes a knee, and you're the worst person on earth, during the national anthem. So there's the difference right there. When white people protest, and they're protesting nothing. The coronavirus, someone's telling you to stay home, and they're trying to help you not catch a virus so you can pass it to your grandma and she'll die. White people couldn't take that. They couldn't stand it. So they protested. Well, and they had weapons. They had guns in full view. They're just walking around with guns. Nobody said anything. Let a black man walk around with a gun and he'll be shot to hell. He'll be shot. Black men get shot when they don't have a gun. Just think if they do have one, how many times they're going to be shot, boy. So that's the difference in America. Non-racist white people who are either in denial about racism or maybe they just don't care. I don't know what it is, but I know things don't have to change because we got a protest that's gone on for the last 13 days that has spread across the globe. Okay? So y'all can say whatever you want, but that's a pretty powerful protest for it to spread across the globe. So you fools can say, well, George Floyd was behind on child support all you want, but this protest has spread across the globe. All right? So people are not going to take it anymore. And that's a lot of white people, not just black people. It's one thing when black people are complaining about something, complaining about being murdered, and white people don't care. But when you get other white people and younger white people, you know what I'm saying? I've criticized young people in general because they sit around looking stupid all day playing video games. They act like that's the only thing they care about doing. But all these young white people, they've really stepped up to the plate. And they're out there protesting, ignoring social distancing, I might add. So that's going to spread the coronavirus in rapid pace, probably. But they haven't cared about that. They think protesting was more important than worrying about the coronavirus. Okay. So when you got this many, and this is how progress happens sometimes. Sometimes progress is merely young people not agreeing with their parents or the grandparents. So all these white people who are racist can say Black lives don't matter or whatever they want to say, but when you get old and die and your grandkids don't agree with you, that's progress. That's progress. Now, that's not as fast as we like it to happen. We like to see it happen in 5 minutes. Somebody protests something, and we like to see changes made. And not just changing the name